Which again allows us to get to know our God even better. Now, a funny thing happened on my way to writing a book. Have you ever heard that phrase, I am, as a name of God? Yes? Well, in my ignorance, I thought I am basically translated to I exist. And for years I carried that around. It made perfect sense to me. And when I was investigating love, I found out that the prefix am means love. So when you hear I am, what is it actually saying? I love. I love. And all the work of the first, second, and third degree is designed for you to love unconditionally. Yourself, your others, God, the world. To become philologians, lovers of all things. For all the right reasons. That's physical, and then you go to spiritual. Remember me doing that before? This was an eye-opener for me. What I found out is that we are not spiritual beings having a physical experience. Have you ever heard that phrase, we're not physical beings having a spiritual experience, we're spiritual beings having a physical experience? Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
I think it's claptrap. I just learned that. It's an Australian phrase. It's claptrap. It's rubbish. We are human beings having both a spiritual and a physical experience all at once. That's what makes us human. We are both spiritual and physical beings. And that's what makes us human. And what makes up the soul is the heart and the head. The education of the heart and the education of the head. The emotions and the intellect. The heart and the mind. It's all soul work. The work that we do as a consequence of taking direction from ritual is all about cultivating the soul. This I say without a doubt. Now there's the sticky question of Cowans, and I'm about to wrap it up. Cowans, believe it or not, were masters of the craft, contrary to what we are taught within the box of Freemasonry. Cowans are not pretenders. They actually had to do apprenticeships, and they had to master their craft. What differentiated them from squarers is that squarers cut and smoothed stones, put them together, and applied cement so that there was a smooth surface. Whereas Cowaners, and that was what they were called, Cowaners or Cowans, they were called rough master masons, or master rough masons, Cowaners or dry dikers. Why were they called Cowans? Well, because they didn't square their work. They put stones together. And when you put stones together that are rough, what appears between the stones? Cracks, cracks, indents, cowans. The word cowan is Gaelic for hollows, indents. An example for everybody here is that if you look right here on your foot, you'll notice that this is a cowan right here. You might call it a hollow, but you've got a hollow on the left and you've got a hollow on the right. But you'll notice that if you do your work, cowans are never involved if you do your work. And you leave all the hollows, all the rough stuff outside the lodge when you come in, particularly when you do the work. A tiler is supposed to identify those brothers who do not build with cement. They call them cowans, but an individual who comes to our door who is not masterful at applying cement, who actually daubs on intempered mortar, they are supposed to be kept outside, because should they come in, their rough work and their daubing will cause a problem within the lodge. Now, obviously this is all symbolic, but keep this in mind, that as a Mason, you are supposed to have your own tiler guarding your temple, and should never, ever allow anything into your life that is intempered and also unsquared. Unless, of course, the person is very seriously committed freely and has got that spark with ignited charcoal to do the work to smooth out their ashlar. The tiler's job is not the one that's outside that door. The tiler's job is the one inside your head and your heart. And it is entirely up to you to make sure you make the right choices into the future when it comes to talents. Ruffians are a whole different job. We'll go there another time. Any questions, any thoughts, any comments? Now's your chance.
Yeah.
Was that a roller coaster ride?
Yeah, but you explained it all so simply to understand it, and that's what I loved about this presentation.
Wow, thank you. Can I have that in writing?
I think this is the first time in 12 years being a Mason that I've begun to understand what it's all about.
Wow. Thank you, brother. Wow, thank you. I'm almost speechless. Almost.
Almost.
Any other brothers have any thoughts or comments? Yes?
Brother, yeah, I just wanted to mention, don't be alarmed at the silence on the side. This is a wonderfully contemplative, thoughtful presentation, and you pass on the thought just where we need to be as we look at this material. So I want to thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Brothers, if you enjoyed this 1 hour, understand I'm going to be speaking for 5.5 hours tomorrow. There's breakfast and lunch included in that. Not a heavy lunch because we don't want you snoozing, because the afternoon is just unbelievably rapid fire insights. If you enjoyed what was going on here tonight, understand that I was laid back here tonight. I didn't want to scare you off. Tomorrow, 5.5 hours of this, going through all the degrees with much more insights. So if you enjoyed tonight, please consider tomorrow also. Now, I understand that you married to a Mason, no doubt, right?
Right.
Or you just going cheek to cheek with him.
About 61 years.
Congratulations. God bless you. What did you think?
Well, I have lived with this now for years. And I appreciated it because you gave some very good insight.
Thank you very much. I often wonder, because I speak a vernacular of Freemasonry, if it is being understood by somebody who's not really too familiar with it. Of course, with the amount of time you put in, you probably teach
and
a few.
he's establishing a library, and I'm helping him. So
There you go. Thank you. Any observations further? Yes.
Is this throughout all your books, or is it one book focuses more on the degrees?
First book is a general overview. Second book is first degrees. Third book is the second degree. Fourth book is the third degree. The fifth book is an overview of the craft in general and selectively first, second degree, and third degree sections. The next one is all about ruffians. I call it ruffianology. because I am a ruffianoscopist. I make up words. You're laughing. No, I am serious. I make up words. The last one is building cement, which is all about what we talked about here. But I'm just kind of skipping along the surface because it goes in depth, 160 pages worth. So thank you very much. The books are available out here. Anybody else have an observation, comment, or a question? Yes.
I'd just like to make a comment. I went to Brother Nagy's building better builder's workshop, and this, like he said, skimming along the surface doesn't even begin to describe it. It's incredible. You'll walk out. What was the term you used? You'll have to use duct tape because your mind will be blown.
Duct tape around the head.
It was incredible.
The time actually goes by extremely quickly. There's nothing that I shared here that you really didn't know for yourself. I might have introduced a few new concepts, but if they made sense to you, you already knew it. And I think for me, that is a Socratic method. I try to put things out that if you understand it, you already know it. It's just a matter of saying, oh yeah, I like to remind people of what they already know. And that's what this presentation is tomorrow, is reminding brothers what they already have right before them, but helping them make connections. And of course, the brains will hurt at the end, because there's a lot of connections. So without further ado, I'm looking at the time. Time to wrap it up. Brother, thank you so much. I'm honored that you had me come here to speak. Privilege, and maybe next time, next year, again, on Ruffianology.
Brother, let's have a